going to lock people up and force them to quarantine in here, and people are still okay with this, you got to give me a break.
We all know that our hotels were not built to deal with the Delta strain of this virus. In fact, what's happening in New South Wales and Victoria is a direct result of the Delta strain coming in and essentially breaching hotel quarantine. So we need regional quarantine facilities. I have been advocating this for a long, long time. It is a no-brainer. People across Queensland come up to me and they say to me, we agree with you. We don't need people being in hotels. We need them in regional facilities. And how do we know that they work? Well, look at Howard Springs. Howard Springs has been a brilliant example. You've seen our Olympians come back and stay there. It's spread out. It's fresh air for people. People don't have to stay in rooms without balconies. I've done hotel quarantine myself. There is a constant flow of people coming up and down in the lifts. Our hotels were not meant to be the last line of defence to deal with a global pandemic. Now, we have agreed with the Commonwealth about Pinkenba. So we've got that agreement and the Commonwealth is building that facility. Well, today I'm pleased to announce that my government has reached agreement with John Wagner and the facility in Toowoomba will be built. Our cabinet has given the go-ahead, and as you can see, right behind us, construction is underway today. This is going to be a great boost for our defence against the Delta virus in this country. And in fact, I believe we need regional facilities right across the country. We are going to be dealing with Delta for some time. And if we want to open Australia up, we want to open our states up, regional quarantine facilities are the second part of the answer. The first part of the answer is vaccine. So we need the vaccine rollout, and we need to make sure that we have good quarantine regional facilities away from our densely populated cities that can spread the virus rapidly, as we've seen what has happened, unfortunately, in New South Wales and, of course, in Victoria.
How we've allowed these so-called elected officials to do this to our world, to us, is a joke. It's another joke. And I know people out there listening, they go, well, they're not going to do it to me. Well, I hope not, because I know they're not going to do it to me either. And if that means laying down my life, then so be it. Because I'll tell you right now, you couldn't even, I had to be really sick to go to a hospital. Recently I was, and I even left and took a chance because I was not taking their test. I was not letting them get near me from that standpoint. I didn't think it would be the way it was when I went. Well, you are not getting me in one of these facilities, okay? I will lay down my life instantly. And another thing that they're doing here in Queensland that needs to be noted is that this quarantine, they are not letting people in. So, you know, when I cover predictive programming with shows like The Dome, I know a lot of people were looking at those shows for other purposes, thinking that it had to do with the earth and that stuff. They were preparing people to be shut in and locked into towns. These are things that we've seen in predictive programming with these types of quarantine outbreak movies where the state borders are closed and nobody can come in and nobody can go out. That's exactly what they're doing here. They're literally building a bubble around these towns and telling you you can't come and you can't go until these facilities are ready. So then if you come in, you're quarantining, you're getting locked in there. Or if you have it, you're getting locked. I mean, it's how people don't see it is beyond me. But we live in a world where people don't want to face hardships. They don't want to look at this stuff. And I can understand to a standpoint why. Because it's stressful, it's depressing. I get it. I know how I live and deal. And I know it's difficult. And I know it takes a lot of thick layers of skin. But when you get so naive to the point you see stuff like this, or you see schools making kids wear ankle bracelets to play sports so they can social distance monitor, and you don't think that this is beyond a police